Welcome to the Global Impact. Welcome to our panel discussion. My name is Anthony and I am joined by my fellow teammates. The topic we will be focusing on in this video is how globalization has affected the whole lot of us. Let's start with the first question. What is globalization?
Well, Anthony, globalization is a broad term which is often used to describe the way that culture, technology, and economic domains of countries are rapidly expanding outside of their own nation and going on to an international level.
Thank you, Paul. Austin, what can you tell us about the origins of globalization?
Well, the origins of globalization go back to at least 700 years ago, evidence to support. This is around that time. European countries began to expand and colonize countries.
Well, I think that the origin started earlier than 100 years ago because of the bad technology and the communication between countries. How has globalization affected our global relationships between developed and developing countries in terms of? Paul?
Globalization has helped poverty throughout several different countries like China, Vietnam, India. Since these countries' levels of income have gone up, while other countries whose governments don't allow investment have remained still and haven't been allowed a simple flow.
And poverty just in the US is saying that the globalization and its impact in the US, we are suffering from poverty. This all revolves around the fact that it is simple and easy to get media coverage when a factory closes down, but extremely difficult to make headline stories out of goods, made much cheaper, allowing families to increase and expand, in which their suggested incomes will improve their following lives.
What has globalization done to affect our health and others' health, Paul?
Well, Anthony, globalization has affected health by fast food driving people to eat their food, causing people to be obese, to have the option to always getting fast food, and it's around every corner, so that means that people will eat it more often and it's a cheaper resource instead of going to buy groceries.
Thank you, Paul. What natural resources are we using in globalization, Austin?
Well, Anthony, we are using technology to communicate with other countries and transportation to send over resources and objects that can be made in that country.
Thank you. What solutions can be implemented to minimize the gap between the developed and developing countries, Paul?
Well, I think that developed countries should be helping developing countries by giving them resources and technology to build buildings and to grow their country to be equal to our country.
What solutions can be implemented to minimize the gap between the developed and developing countries, Paul?
Well, I think that developed countries should help developing countries by giving them resources and technology to build buildings and to grow their country.
What solutions can be implemented to minimize the gap between developed and developing countries, Paul?
Well, Anthony, I think that developed countries should help developing countries by giving them resources and technology to build buildings and to grow their country to be equal at developing countries.
Thank you, Paul. Austin, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that developed countries should also give money, not just resources, because they would know what they need to grow their countries to shorten the gap between developed and developing countries.
Thank you, Austin. This has been The Global Impact, sponsored by KFC. Thank you for watching.